Shohei Ohtani home.
From the gridiron to the airwaves, it's time for the Martin Houston Show with Martin, Xavier, and Simeon. Martin is a national championship fullback from the 1992 Alabama Crimson Tide. Known for his bruising runs and devastating blocks, now he's bulldozing through sports talk with that same championship intensity. Joining him is his son, Xavier, a savant of football knowledge and statistical insight. He's your go-to source for the latest recruiting news and insider updates from across the Bama Nation. And Simeon, the thinker and contemplator, bringing you insight and knowledge that is logical, thoughtful, and on point. Together, they deliver fair and balanced analysis from an insider's perspective with real conversations where the callers, the listeners, and the online maniacs get in on the action by sharing their thoughts, their comment, and their reaction. Join our online maniacs at facebook.com/The Martin Houston Show. You're listening to Tide 100.9 and 1230 WTBC. It's time for kickoff. So buckle up and get ready, because this is the sound of Bama sports. The Martin Houston Show with Martin, Xavier, and Simeon is live. Roll, Tide, roll!
Roll, Tide, roll. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is a wild card Would You Rather Wednesday. What's happening Wednesday? All in one. We're live, local, and ready to get things rolling right here on your home for Alabama sports. We invite you to get in on the conversation at 205-342-9904, 205-342-9904. That is the Empowerment Training and Consulting Hotline. Maniacs, we'd like to hear from you on this beautiful Wednesday morning. We also invite you to add your thoughts, your comments, your reactions, your questions, your topics, your discussion points, all on in the live stream chat, and we'll work those into the conversation. Remember that this is a day that the Lord has made, so let's rejoice and be glad in it. Take some time today to notice someone, love someone, serve someone, be the difference in the world today. So we might get a little audio from Coach DeBoer today. We're going to talk about the quarterbacks. We're going to talk about the running backs. We're going to talk about the coach. There's a couple lists out there. So today is maybe Wish List Wednesday. How about that? Wish List Wednesday. What are you wishing upon a star for your quarterback, your running back, and your coach? So we'll talk about those things as we move throughout the morning. Good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
Good morning. Doing good.
I guess Xavier's doing good, but he's not talking this morning.
I'm doing good.
Yeah. You get it unmuted.
I did.
All right. But hey, let's get things rolling this morning. We'll start off with I guess the quarterback conversation, since we've been teasing that for a few days. There is a list on Saturday Down South that talks about the SEC 5 leading passers in the conference. Ironically, only one transfer. So everybody else, was already on their existing team. So, let's go back a little bit before we get into the list. Where do you think Todd Simpson would have ended up had he not gotten hurt last year?
Where did he end up? Third?
I'm not. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, he probably would have had well over 4,000 yards passing, I think.
Remember, I had made that crazy prediction that Ty would end up with over 4,000 yards and 40 touchdowns. And through game 8, he was on track. He was on track to do that. So,
well, he finished second.
So with that said, if Ty finished second, um, if Ty finished second, and we know how the season ended for him, do you think that Alabama's quarterback finishes higher or lower than last year?
But then Ty Simpson,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to if they stay healthy, I think it's going to be higher.
Does it matter which one?
Nope.
Doesn't matter which one. All right. Uh, so let's go through the rankings. Well, beforehand, let's see if we can get our listening audience to kind of the maniacs to tell us where they think Ty is going to end up. I mean, not Ty. Oh my goodness, that was a old man. It was an old man. Where we think he got to end up? Here's the five guys. Let's do this. I'm gonna get the five guys. I'm gonna get a maniacs a chance to say where do you think they have Ty finishing? I'm good gracious.
Keelan
Keelan
or Austin Mack.
Keelan
there
and
we
Austin.
go.
Yeah. Okay. The five guys. The five guys in no particular order. Trinidad Chambliss, Sam Levitt, Marcel Reed, Arch Manning, and the Alabama quarterback. Okay. So I guess the first question, guys, is how do you feel about that list? Do you feel
Now remember that's the top 5, not in order.
right? How
Not
do
in
you feel
order.
about that list?
I think it's a solid list. I mean, when you look at the guys that are returning, the three guys that started last year returning, you got Chambliss, who led the SEC. Then you've got Arch, and you've got Marcel Reed. That's pretty list. And Reed finished 5th, and Manning finished 6th last year. Chambliss was number 1. So pretty solid. Aguilar, Pavia, and Simpson, the other 3 in the top 6, graduated and gone. Okay, that's expected. Then you look at Levitt. If Levitt lives up to what he did the year before in 2024 at Arizona State, okay. Now, I think the reason they have the Alabama quarterback so high is because they expect Alabama to have to rely fairly heavily on the passing game. So, yeah, I respect that top 5 as a whole.
Yeah.
Agreed. Agreed. I think, or I could just see some like Kentucky or like lower level player getting into that top 5 just because
They're
that's
always
all they
behind.
have.
They're
That's just
always
all they.
behind.
Yeah, they're always behind. So I feel like there's always, Kentucky or the teams or an Arkansas quarterback that is, passing for 4,500 yards because his team has been behind,
Well,
the whole game.
Kentucky has the young man, the OC from Oregon. So, so he's
Their
there.
quarterback finished 13th last year. Arkansas's quarterback finished 9th.
But Kentucky got a
But they
whole
both have
new
new
coaches
head
and
coaches, and
And what's his name? Stoops was definitely a defensive minded guy. But
yeah,
here's the thing: which of those five do you think has the potential of the five that we listed? What was it? Manning, Chambliss, the Alabama quarterback, um, the Marcel Reed, and Sam Levitt. Which one of those guys do you think has the chance to the most likely to not finish in the top 5?
Levitt.
I say Reed.
And I say Chambliss.
Well, not finishing the top 5.
I don't know
Different head coach.
and that's why I think Levitt may end up number 1.
Really?
I said may, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what are we saying in Alabama? What are we saying in Tuscaloosa? Where did Ty finish last year?
Second.
And who did we complain about all year?
The offense
You said we complained about the offense all year. We complained about Grubb all year, and we saying our quarterback ended up second.
would have never thought that based on how we feel.
And the guy who took a guy who wasn't even his starter,
Mm-hmm.
who was a D3 guy, D2 guy,
Cold.
and now that guy's in Baton Rouge with a quarterback who has shown. Now Sam Levitt isn't like Sorsby out of Texas Tech. Sam Levitt was a good quarterback.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Especially if you give him any type of run game.
Yeah. His last full season, he threw for 2,800 yards, 24 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
But that's when he had Scatterboo.
And that's when he had
Yeah.
Scatterboo. And last year wasn't bad before he had 1,600, 10 and 3.
So and I don't think he played full season in either one of those. I'm not sure. I think he got hurt a game or two even in Scatterboo. But my point is he now has Lane Kiffin. Guys, Lane Kiffin took Blake Sims to be the all-time leader at the time in yards in a season.
Yeah.
A running back. Now, if you want to call somebody a running back that played quarterback, that was Blake Sims. That dude went from DB to running back to quarterback. And I think LSU has some tools to work with. So
Yeah.
So I think Levitt is the least. Not only do I think he's the least likely the guy to fall out, I think he's the guy that may be number one, and they may have him at number one right now. But
the only reason I'm leaning maybe not is because they have 2 really good running backs at LSU, and I don't know how the wide receiver core. I know we got a bunch of transfers, but
who's the running back when Blake Sims was the quarterback?
TJ and
Kenyon Drake.
No, TJ and Derek.
Was not Kenyon Drake not on that team?
Kenyon got hurt, remember? That's the year Kenyon broke his ankle, and TJ and Derek both ran for right up under 1,000.
So my point, once again, Xavier, Blake Sims versus Sam Levitt as a quarterback, and you just said they have 2 good running backs. Well, Alabama had 2 good running backs as well. So that's it.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're going to finish. We're going to give our thoughts. We'll give the list on the other side. We'll give where we think Alabama quarterback's going to come out and who you think it's going to be. So you listen to the Martin Houston Show with Martin, Xavier, and Simeon.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. A very good morning to you on your wonderful Hump Day Wednesday. Moving right along on the Tuscaloosa freeways and side streets. However, I do see a slight delay here as you travel on 2059 right there at the exit to University Boulevard. And as far as Lurleen Wallace, that's moving at posted speed from 15th to McFarland. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, Tammy Tom.
This report is sponsored by eBay. eBay is home to millions of finds, and each one becomes part of your story. From your favorite vintage band tee to the dream car you've been searching for or the foul ball you heroically gave away. It's all there on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Get your life back when the world's gone crazy. Get your life back. And I don't mean maybe when you know you got to have a friend. You call 833 Mez Webs and get your life back, baby. Get your life back, baby. Stephen Mezrano, Alabama Injury Lawyers. Mez wins.
Hey, I'm Richard Adams with Adams Services. The air your family breathes passes through your home's duct system multiple times per day. Corroded, leaking, or dirty ductwork wastes energy as well as diminished comfort and degrades indoor air quality. It's a threat to both your health and your budget. Exactly why you should call your local experts at Adams Services for our complete range of duct services, 205-339-6540 or at adamssvcs.com. Adams Services.
What does it mean to advertise and do your marketing with Town Square Media Tuscaloosa? Melissa started her business in 2014. What would you say to someone considering Town Square Media Tuscaloosa?
My experience with Town Square Media has been awesome, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone. I think that this is the first time in my marketing experience that I've been able to see my return on investment. I would definitely say in the past that has not been the case. In this, I like knowing that that's 100%. A lot of the marketing we've done has been radio. You guys have so much more to offer than that, whether it's, websites from targeted marketing to radio. You are kind of a one-stop shop, and it makes doing marketing so much easier. So I would definitely recommend it.
For more info on marketing with Town Square Media Tuscaloosa, call 205-345-7200 or click on Advertise with Us on our website.
Hey, I'm Martin Houston, and I want to tell you about exciting news happening at Box Eye Care. They've moved to their new location, bringing you a brand new lab, stylish new frames, and a fresh look just for you. Enjoy their expanded frame inventory, competitive prices, and faster service, all with the same great level of service you've come to know and trust. Discover this full-service eye care at Box Eye Care's new location. With their in-house lab, they offer unbeatable value and one of the largest frame collections in town. Schedule your eye exam today and walk out with new glasses in less than an hour in most cases. Visit boxeyecare.com. That's boxeyecare.com or call 205-342-0660. That's 205-342-0660. Visit them at 5003 Oscar Baxter Drive. That's Box Eye Care. Your vision, our priority.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
Here's your Tuscaloosa and West Alabama forecast. A lot of rain on tap for us here over the next several days. Combination of an old washed out front and deep tropical moisture coming up from the south is going to lead to widespread shower and storm activity. Rainfall amounts of up to 6 inches are possible between now and the weekend. Showers and storms, 87 today, 74 tonight. Flood watch goes into place tomorrow. Showers and storms, 82. Storms Friday, 86. Richard Wedding at the Weather Channel for Town Square Media Tuscaloosa.
It's 72 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Welcome back to the Martin Houston Show, the sound of Bama sports. Your show, your team, on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Practices influence your decision for the starter in the fall?
Oh, I think it's everything. It's not just about those practices. It's about what you see each and every day. And we got two great leaders, and so it has to be that way. I know that the respect by the team is what it needs to be. They believe in these guys as quarterbacks on the field. They also really love who these guys are as people off the field, and they're great. They're great teammates, and so they've obviously got different personalities. It comes out in different ways, but they attack every day. They go after it with their teammates, and I know the competition's strong right now, and it's going to be that way, I know, through the fall.
Coach, what would you like to tell your fan base?
All right, that is Coach DeBoer receiving a question about how he's going to judge the quarterback competition. He didn't give too much, more of the same thing that he's always given, just more of these guys are two competitors, these guys are great, they're going to be amazing, they're great leaders. So they're still keeping it really close to the vest. But before we went to break, we were talking about where we think Alabama's quarterback, whether that be Keelan Russell or Austin Mack, where would they end up in the top 5 passing yards in the SEC? Dad, you're thinking maybe not two, not one, because you think that's Sam Levitt. I'm assuming, right?
Well, I'm not. I'm saying I think he has the potential. I think Arch Manning, if to me, Sarkisian, as great a quarterback whisperer as he has been, I think he hurt Arch Manning last year.
Especially in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, so I could see the Arch being that guy if they just release him. Chambliss is the most proven guy, but he has a whole new offense. I mean, he has a whole new. He doesn't have the Kiffin magic. I mean, I wouldn't want Kiffin to be my head coach because he's a fireball and loose cannon. And if he fools around and matures, which he seems to be headed in that direction, he's going to be a coach that's going to be hard to deal with. I think he gave up a national championship potentially. I think that Ole Miss team that beat Georgia could have beat Indiana.
Yeah, if they had their head coach. Yeah.
I really do, because I mean, so and then Texas A&M, I think they're fool's gold. I think that they play the worst schedule, the easiest schedule, and then when they play good teams, it's been proven 2 years in a row they're just overhyped. So their schedule is supposed to be a little bit tougher this year. So
They play Alabama in the middle of the season, so that's already a lot tougher than any schedule that they had before. I mean, I think that Texas A&M could. I don't think A&M is going to the playoffs again this year, in my opinion.
Right. So I think Alabama ends up in the top 5. I think they end up, somewhere in the middle of the pack, of the top 5. Have y'all seen the numbers? Did you see the numbers that I sent?
The last 5 quarterbacks under DeBoer?
We barely have as much in 2 seasons as them jokers were getting in a year. So I didn't realize it was that much of a drop off.
Yeah. For those who don't know, or I mean, you put it in the chat, but those who are listening on the radio, Jake Hayner in 2021 just got over 4,000 yards. Michael Penix, 4,622, 4,923. Jalen Milroe, this is when he gets to Alabama, got a little over 2,800 yards. And Ty Simpson last year got 3,500, a little over 3,500 yards. And so there's been a clear drop off in offensive production since he got to Alabama.
In the
past game, but also I think in every facet of offensive game as well, because our running back last 2 years, that hasn't been great either.
Right.
And so that begs the question, what is it? Why? Why, like that doesn't make sense, because unless Jalen Milroe and Ty Simpson just weren't that good a quarterback, which some people thought Jalen Milroe was horrible.
I think it's multiple things.
I think Ty gets 4,000 if he doesn't get hurt.
Yeah.
And Jalen Milroe's a dual threat, more so than anybody else on that list.
Yeah, absolutely.
His total yards are higher than what Ty's passing total yards were.
Yeah. How many yards did he have rushing?
He had right up under 800.
So
pretty much same production.
So that's 30. That's almost 3,700 total yards that he had.
But Xavier, that 800 came away from the run game too.
Yeah.
So it's not like he got 2,800 and the running backs got 1,500 or 2,000 yards. He was a running back in terms of his numbers production. He was he was the run game. So it's still way off because Pennington had almost 5,000 yards
and 1,000-yard running back.
Yeah. They had almost 6. They had Their starters had $6,000.
Now, within the same
Over
breath,
$6,000.
Alabama has definitely underperformed, but it is the SEC versus the Pac-12.
Okay, so go back and look at what he did against Texas and against Michigan, against Oregon, against
I didn't say
everybody. It tickles me. I also tell people that. Well, do those conferences have? Um, so are you saying you think that Penix would have struggled in the SEC?
I don't know if he gets 4,900 in the SEC. I'm not saying he doesn't throw for well over 4,000. I'm not gonna say that.
Well,
But playing, Ty was on track for 4
without a run game. So why would you
But-
say Penix wouldn't do it?
because I don't know what. We also don't know what their run game would have been in the SEC. Would it have been better than Alabama's? Yes.
Xavier, you need to go back and watch that Washington offense.
And
they had
a better offensive line.
The worst receiver on their team ended up being the best receiver the last 2 years at Alabama. He couldn't get on the field at Washington. Even that would be like Lasir Brooks having to wait 2 years. That's who Jeremy Bernard was at Washington. He was Lasir Brooks, and he barely could get on the field.
Agreed.
Same about their tight end to backup tight end.
Yeah, I just like I said, I think that Washington offense could have played in the SEC. I know that it's a different level, different talent, but is it really compared to what it used to be?
Not
Maybe.
anymore.
I mean,
Last
Boise
2
State,
years,
Tulsa, Michigan State, Cal, Oregon State, Washington State. How do we feel about those teams in the SEC?
Same way we feel about some of the SEC schools. My point, though, Xavier, is Ty Simpson had 3,600 yards.
And if he doesn't get hurt, he probably ends up somewhere around 42, 43.
And Penix is better than Ty. I wouldn't even.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get back to the list. We gotta
say the list.
We haven't told them the list. You want me to tell them the list?
Tell them the list.
Saturday Down South has starting at number 5, has Sam Levitt, LSU, at number 5. Number 4, Marcel Reed, Texas A&M. Number 3, it just has Keelan Russell or Austin Mack. So they're saying it doesn't matter who's the quarterback at Alabama. They're going to have to perform. Number 2, Trinidad Chambliss, Ole Miss. And topping out the list is Arch Manning at Texas.
Agree or disagree with that list, man?
I think it's a pretty solid list. I
can't argue.
I might put Sam Levitt at 4 and Marcel Reed at 5.
Yeah. I just think it's interesting. Dad, you kind of hinted at with the Arch Manning thing. I also think his family has kept the training wheels on him, and Sarkisian's been okay with it. I think that is more of a Manning dynasty controlling the show than it might be even Sarkisian. Just my thoughts.
So that would mean that they have wanted him to be dogged the way he's been getting dogged, because he's been dogged for not being a passer. His performance has not helped his draft stock. Hadn't hurt it per se.
No, but his last name is still Manning, and he's still viewed as the number 1 guy in his class. He was the number 1 guy. He's going to be the number 1 guy this year. He's going to be the number 1 guy next year. If he fools around and comes back for his redshirt senior year, he'll be the number 1 guy in 28.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to get drafted where he gets drafted, but I don't think that. I think they did that his first year. I think that they had him wait his turn. I do believe that. I think they were like, that's fine, but I don't think last year they were saying do what he did and the way he was used. That'd be stupid.
Bro, Steve Sarkisian versus Ohio State, the way he called that game, handicapped Arch Manning in they ran the ball on first down, ran it on second down, and then had him throw it on third down if they weren't close enough. That's
Yeah.
not, I mean, he called that game differently than he called the rest, pretty much for the first like 4 or 5 games of the season. And then towards the second half of the season, either Arch got a lot more comfortable or he started opening up the offense because second half of the season was totally different.
Yeah, and let's look at it. Let's look at that list a little deeper. Getting some questions around it. Um, Pete Fields saying, would you put unproven Mack or Russell over Stockton and Levitt and Reed? I would love it, but it seems like a pipe dream. I have a comeback to that, which is kind of crazy when you think about Alabama football. So we'll talk about it on the other side. You're listening to the Martin Houston Show with Martin, Xavier, and Simeon.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. A very good morning to you on your wonderful Hump Day Wednesday. Moving right along on the Tuscaloosa freeways and side streets. However, I do see a slight delay here as you travel on 2059 right there at the exit to University Boulevard. And as far as Lurleen Wallace, that's moving at posted speed from 15th to McFarland. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, Tammy Thomas.
Halito, this is Choctaw Princess Lexi Rodriguez inviting you to celebrate the 76th Choctaw Indian Fair July 14th through the 18th.
Enjoy performances from top artists Natalie Grant, Clay Walker, Warren Ziders, and Busta Rhymes. Experience Choctaw art, food, dancing, and carnival rides. Ignite your competitive spirit with Res Run, Iron Warrior, volleyball, and the Cornhole Tournament. Visit ChoctawIndianFair.com and like us on Facebook.
Hope to see you there. Hachapisa Lajigit.
When it comes to custom apparel, trust your local experts at B&B Sports and Silkscreen in Northport. We specialize in team uniforms, event apparel, company branding, and custom hat patches. We offer professional screen printing, DTF prints, and embroidery with fast turnaround times and quality you can count on. Give us a call today for a free quote at 205-339-7361. That's 205-339-7361. Locally owned, locally trusted, and ready to bring your ideas to life.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-553-7217 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-553-7217. 800-553-7217. That's 800-553-7217. What do you have to lose? Call 800-553-7217. Again, 800-553-7217.
It's time for the Martin Houston Show. With the same hard-hitting, no-nonsense approach in which he played the game, Martin will take you inside the locker room, down on the field, and across the goal line with his in-depth analysis.
I think that he's already in year 3. Time's flown by, and I guess first thing I want to say is how proud I am of what he is also off the field, not just on the field. And that's what everyone sees. But here's a guy that's going to have his degree by the end of December, and that's 2.5 years. He's full-fledged in the schoolwork, spring, fall, and even right now in the summer. But from a leadership standpoint, he's out front, center with the team. He's a voice. He's one that guys count on. He's a great teammate. And then just as far as your question, just with the portal and him sticking around, man, he just I think he made that commitment when he came, and he's a guy that just stands by his word. And I know that there's a lot of opportunities that probably have come across his plate in one way or another, and I just appreciate who he is as a person and what he wants to do here at Alabama. And so looking forward to him building on what he's done already in the spring and the summer, leading into a great fall.
Kind of the heart of
that was Coach DeBoer talking about Ryan Williams and the fact that he stuck around and he's a leader on and off the field. The players love him, the teammates love him. And because of that, is that why you feel more confident about Keelan or Mac? They said they don't care which quarterback it is. That quarterback's going to be in the top 5. Saturday Down South says number 3. Do you have him higher or lower, guys? And do you agree that Ryan Williams, as Ryan Williams goes this season, so goes the Alabama quarterback?
Yes, I think you have to. He's the vet in the room. He's the most experienced guy.
On the offense, period.
Yeah. I mean, it's his show to run.
I agree. I think just for them to have success, not success, but just to take them over to the top to national championship level contention, I think Ryan has to have a good season. And so, with that being said, I agree.
Yeah, and I totally agree with it. I think Ryan Williams holds the key to Alabama football and their success in 2026. We showed the numbers. All of the quarterbacks that regardless of how many games, I think earlier someone asked, Jacob Powell asked, didn't Penix have more starts than Ty? Penix, I think, also set out more playing time in games because of the way they were beating people than Ty. I'm not even going to – if you're going to ask me who I'm going to take, Penix or Ty, it's not even going to be a conversation. So, and here's the thing. What Penix brought to the table, Ty didn't do. That's why I was surprised that Jalen Milroe didn't have more success. Deep ball, this offense likes to stretch the field. They like to hit that deep ball. Well, Ty didn't always hit that deep ball, right?
Yeah.
So if Ty had that bullet in his gun, I think he'd have been even more successful. They're a big play offense. So the question P. Fields asked is, would you take, unproven Austin Mack, unproven Keelan Russell over, Stockton and Levitt and Reed? What's your answer?
For this offense?
He actually said it's a pipe dream for us to think that they will end up in the top 3.
For this offense, yes. But for what Georgia needs of Stockton, no, and what Levitt is going to be doing at LSU, probably not, and what Reed is doing at Texas A&M, probably not. So I think these guys, from what we've been told, fit the system perfectly. And so until proven otherwise, I'm going to trust the coaches.
Same. I think if we look at it how they expect it to be, can't beat these two.
Well, first of all, what does it mean unproven? I mean, ask yourself a question: Who was Marcel Reed proven last year? No, he was top 5. He wasn't proven. He had played, but was he proven?
No.
So people thought that Marcel Reed was going to be the guy last year. Who was talking about Marcel Reed this time last year? Nobody. Who was talking about Chambliss this time last year?
Nobody.
Right? Who was talking about, even though Pavia had a great season, no one was talking about Pavia doing, I mean, they thought he'd be good, but that dude came back and kind
But
of.
who was talking about Ty Simpson throwing for being second in the SEC in passing yards? Nobody.
You're right. Ty Simpson was unproven last year. Tell me the last proven quarterback to win a championship at Alabama.
I guess AJ McCarron the second year after he won the first one.
Right?
And if you're gonna be honest, everybody said it was strictly the defense and the run game that carried them to that first one.
Yeah, but remember he
I mean, he was the starter, but everybody still said Trent had more rushing touchdowns than AJ had passing touchdowns.
Yeah, but you still have to say
first
he was a
national
proven
championship.
quarterback. I mean, he had a couple games where he was the man, where they had to lean on him. I wouldn't take away AJ's contribution in that first championship. I would say he was part of it. So I may do that to Greg McElroy, but
well, that was Greg's first year as the starter.
I'm being funny, Xavier. I'm just saying. But when was the last time a proven guy at Alabama won a championship?
No.
Jalen would have been. Jalen.
I was about to say Jalen's Hurts would have been the closest.
Yeah, because he came back off of a freshman. He took his team back. Tua gets credit for winning the national championship, but not in the history books. He gets credit for the second half. So and then when it was his team, he had the worst.
It lost.
He had the worst beat down in the Saban
era.
That which okay. I know this is kind of off. Which one was worse, this Indiana game or the Clemson game?
Clemson. By far.
We were number one, undefeated, defending national champs.
Averaging
40 something a game, been spanking everybody, and we got boat race.
We forget how that was bad, boy. I mean, hey, put it like this, Simeon. Nick Xavier was running fake field goals in the third.
I remember.
Third quarter. So
I remember Tua picking up, throwing it out route. DB jumped it, and he was gone. I was
of course, they're saying that what's his name is a signal stealer, Venables. So, and he's had Alabama's number, so maybe there's some truth to it. So, but anyway, I think that having this guy, when I look at Stockton, he's a winning quarterback, but he's not like their offense doesn't require an elite passer. Okay, and that's not their offensive philosophy. Okay,
but I think he could do
this, guys. To me, there's a couple things, and we won't get to both of them today. We won't get to them today, but I think that these two quarterbacks are more talented quarterbacks than the previous two guys. Arm talent, IQ, the diversity of their game, what all they bring to the table, and I believe that they are a better match for what DeBoer and Grubb want to do. Okay? Now the question becomes, and this is what we'll talk about tomorrow, can the run game be complementary, and can Grubb find the magic that we want? And with some of his magic off the table because he didn't have all of the tools he needed, guys. Real quick, and then we'll have to get the break.
Yeah, I think so. I think when you look at the way that Alabama's offensive line was built, I think this is the closest thing to what he's wanted. And then you turn around and our quarterbacks had two different skill sets, the two different ends of what he wanted, and we finally got guys that can do both.
Yeah, this offense as a whole fits closest to what they had at Washington, in these 3 years. So I think this will be close to what they had there.
Yeah, and interesting. Jacob Powell said, I can see our quarterbacks being top 3 if they have a good O-line. If it's last year's O-line again, then we would be lucky for our QB. Well, Ty got it last year, and both of these guys, to me, give you greater escapability. I think they would be better than Ty with a bad offensive line. And if they have a good offensive line, they may actually be number 1. Anybody bold enough to make that prediction?
No, I'm done making predictions.
But yeah, hey, listen. We're gonna pick up the conversation because I think with the quarterback talent itself, there's several things that this team has that Ty didn't have. If it all comes together, that I think makes it very possible that they can not only be top 3, that I think they could push for being the top quarterback in the conference. And we'll talk about what those things are. Jacob Powell said, why didn't Ty win the job? Matt win the job.
Why didn't Mac win the job with Ty?
Because Ty was better than him last year.
Why didn't Ty win it over Jalen?
Because Jalen was better than Ty the year before. That's why he didn't win it.
Why didn't Keelan win the job? I mean, we can ask this question all day long about every. You could go down the list, and there's only a couple quarterbacks you can't make that argument for that have started at Alabama.
That's right. All right, we'll be back on the other side. It's a Wednesday edition of the program, so we will get into the conversation with Scotty Hollins, Executive Director, Blueprint Ministries. Roll Tide.
Here's what's trending on the Tuscaloosa thread.
Good morning. Here's one of the top stories we're following for you this hour. The city of Tuscaloosa will hold a groundbreaking for work on expanding the Belk Activity Center on Thursday. Mayor Maddox and other local officials will be in attendance for the 10 a.m. ceremonies. The center was opened in 1997 and is named after a former para-director, Jerry Belk. Click TuscaloosaThread.com for more West Alabama news, sports, and weather coverage all throughout the day. It's free. Don Hartley, Town Square Media, Tuscaloosa.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. If you're traveling around the area right now, very light to start out. We're moving smooth on 43 southbound on McFarland, even though it is starting to gain a little volume at that intersection. And speaking of intersections, McFarland and Lurleen Wallace, that's also traveling at posted speed for you. Skyland Boulevard, not doing too shabby at all. From McFarland to 69, you're moving with a purpose. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, I'm Tammy Thomas.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's.
Save more at Townsend Nissan. Sentra, $195 a month. Rogue, $288 a month. $6,000 off Pathfinders and 3 years of free oil changes. Townsend Nissan, your family in the car business.
With Lowe's, the best parts of summer start right outside your door. Right now, get 3 Ferry Moore's 1.3 quart vegetables and herbs for just $12. Plus, get 4 bags of Miracle Grow 0.75 cubic foot garden soil for only $10. Valid through 6/24 while supplies last. Selection varies by location, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
With Taco Casa, it's not really fast food because it's made fresh every day in the store. The quality hasn't changed. The consistency hasn't changed because we haven't changed anything in the food. It's made fresh every morning in every restaurant. I think buzzwords in today's food industry are locally sourced and high quality ingredients. We want to say, that sounds great. We've been doing that since 1974.
Under the biggest cactus in town, Taco Casa.
Hey, I'm Richard Adams with Adams Services, your local experts. Don't let power outages disrupt your life or business. With a Honeywell generator, you get reliable backup power to keep everything running smoothly. For a limited time, a free 10-year parts and service warranty, as well as financing as low as $189 a month. Give Adams Services a call at 205-339-6540 or visit us at adamsvcs.com. Your local experts.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a hospitality manager at a 5-star hotel.
So I just checked into room 318, but someone was in there.
Room 318. Oh, you were supposed to be booked in 813, which is now booked.
So what do we do?
How about rock, paper, scissors for who gets the bid?
This is the job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Some days, self-care starts with Nature-Made gummy vitamins, a deep breath, and a little encouragement.
Mom, I'm really nervous.
Me too, honey, but we've got this. Repeat after me. I'm going to have a good day.
I'm going to have a good day.
I choose joy no matter what comes my way.
I bring joy wherever I go.
Quality gummy vitamins from Nature-Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Hey, I'm Richard Adams with Adams Services. The air your family breathes passes through your home's duct system multiple times per day. Corroded, leaking, or dirty ductwork wastes energy as well as diminished comfort and degrades indoor air quality. It's a threat to both your health and your budget. Exactly why you should call your local experts at Adams Services for our complete range of duct services, 205-339-6540 or at adamsvcs.com. Adams Services.
The sound of Bama Sports. Your show, your team. The Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show with Martin, Xavier, and Simeon. It's now time for the Harvest Church Christian Moment of the Week with Scotty Hollins, Executive Director of Blueprint Ministries. Good morning, Scotty. How you doing?
Good morning, Martin. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Take some time and encourage us and incorporate our faith into the boardroom, the classroom where our chosen field to play, sir.
Absolutely. We're going to continue with our series, True Greatness. And our picture is Jesus. Obviously, there's no better picture than Jesus. And the verse that we're looking at is Mark 10:45, and it's a verse that he shared with his disciples about what true greatness really is. And here's the verse. This is our picture. Jesus says, "For even the Son of Man, speaking of himself, did not come to be served, but he came to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many." So now he's given us this picture. True greatness is serving, and not just serving, but serving at the highest level. Because what more do you have? What else can you give that's greater than your life? He came not to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many. And I just think we looked at Paul and looked at how Paul saw true greatness as serving and as really glorifying God with his life. Now, I want to look at a different example today. I want to look at Nehemiah. And if you guys know anything about Nehemiah, it's about building a wall. But I don't know if we really pay attention to the backstory, Martin, on how that that building project got started. So Nehemiah is cupbearer to the king. He's the king's right-hand man in some ways. You got to be really trusted to be the cupbearer. The cupbearer is the guy who would drink the king's wine before he drank it to make sure no one was poisoning him. He would eat the king's food before he ate it to make sure no one was trying to poison him. So he was eating the best of foods. I'm sure he had pretty good living quarters. What you think, Martin? His condo was probably pretty nice, right?
Absolutely.
And he's living right there with the king. Yeah. And so he's got a really cush job. And so here's what I'm gonna tell you. Most people would consider that true greatness. And I'm gonna just say this: we don't get a chance to hear about Nehemiah because he was cupbearer to the king. We get a chance to hear about Nehemiah because of what he did in Nehemiah chapter 1. One of his brothers comes back from Jerusalem, and I'm leaving a lot of, you guys got to go back to look at the backstory, but I'm going to just jump right to it. There's a lot I'm leaving out. But one of his brothers comes to see him. And he said, and Nehemiah 1 cares enough. He's in his first job, right? He could have easily been like, hey, he could have just kind of been self-consumed, not worried about anybody else. But here's what he says. He says, how's everything going back home, my man? Bro? Mm-hmm. And his brother says, oh, it's not good. Actually, it's horrible. And he says, our walls are down. And that had happened 70 years prior, actually about 90 years prior, when they had been carried off as slaves. But anyway, so they're back. And he's saying the wall is still on the ground. It hasn't been rebuilt. And it's pretty much a disgrace. So here Nehemiah is, Martin, and, here he is in this cush job. He could have said, that's y'all's problem. Y'all been back 20 years. Y'all haven't rebuilt that wall yet. Like, what's going on? Like, y'all, what are y'all doing? Like, does anybody leave? He could have gone there. You know what he said? It says that when I heard these things, I sat down and wept. That's his response. For some days I mourned and fasted and prayed before the God of heaven. And so that was his response. Remember what Jesus says, true greatness is, he didn't come to be served, but he came to serve and give his life as a ransom for many. What we would see from this point forward was Martin probably too, Nehemiah. Nehemiah would actually, from this point forward, he fasted for many days, and then he would approach the king. And by approaching the king, Martin, he would be risking his life. Here's the point. And we'll pick up here next week. He was making himself vulnerable, and he was giving his life to serve all of these people that would start this building project. It was all about them. Martin?
Yeah, it was several quick caveats on that. First of all, he didn't see the wall. He just heard about it, and his heart was rent. That's how much love he had for his people. He didn't have to experience it. Then his entire prayer was as if he was the one who had committed the fault. He didn't say them. He said us. What I love is that he had carried himself before the king in such an upright way so long that when something heavy was on him, the king noticed his countenance. Something if we were the light of the world, like God calls us to do, and when our light's a little bit dim, those of the world will go, hey, what's wrong? And then we're able to glorify our Father in heaven. So it's not always about how bright your light shines. Sometimes your light shines brightly, and when it's a little dim, those who have been around you and watched your witness will notice, and then God will open a door for you to serve others as a result. So there's a lot in that one, man. I love that.
Yeah, we'll keep unpacking it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Tell them where they can find you, man.
Absolutely. You can go to www.blueprinttuscaloosa.com. Send me a message there. It comes straight to my email.
And that's Scotty Holland, the Executive Director of Blueprint Ministries. That's Simeon Houston, Xavier Houston, that was on with us earlier, Chase Behind the Glass. I'm Martin Houston for the Martin Houston Show with Martin, Xavier, and Simeon. We say, remember this, trust in the Lord always, lean not your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. Roll Tide, everybody. Let's celebrate.
Thank you for listening to the Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.